Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Just got a phone call this morning from Nashville, Tennessee. Someone watched the video I put out March 3rd, 2020 about the devastating tornado there, and they asked if I could go back and look at the last tornado to devastate Nashville, which was April 16th, 1998. And they asked me to look into this because they said it's very similar. The tornado hit the same area of Nashville, which is predominantly black. And they said after the first storm hit in 1998, it caused a lot of black people to leave the community and properties that were destroyed. White families came in, so gentrification began at that process, and it's been going on ever since. And she said, slowly but surely, all of the black people are being flushed out of this community, and she thinks these storms are part of that agenda. So, anyhow, let's just look at this. I'm going to show you very clear parallels between these two storms. Again, there was a tornado outbreak in the Midwest April 15th and April 16th of 1998. The day that Nashville was impacted was the more severe day, which was April 16th. And two things stand out about that date. One is it's the 106th day of the year. Tennessee is 106 with the alphabetic order. It was also a date with 137 numerology. Tennessee with the reverse alphabetic order is 137. And of course, 137 is the 33rd prime number, in tornadoes 33. Just like how the city was impacted on March 3rd, 3-3, a year to the day of 41 tornadoes devastating the Midwest, which happened in 2019 on 3-3, March 3rd. Now, look at the time that the tornado impacted Nashville on April 16th. It touched down at 3:30 p.m. 3:30 p.m. And I was just talking about this with the tornado that hit on March 3rd, that it hit at a very specific minute. They said on March 3rd it hit at 12:38 in the morning. So the 38th minute of the day. Death is 38, murders 38, killings 38, RIPs 38. This number is coded all over tragedies in Africa, a predominantly black continent. Africa's 38. We're always talking about the deaths of black entertainers in 38. Of course, the 38 code extends beyond the black race, but the point is it's a number of death. And then the day after the storm, they said that 38 people were missing. And remember, they do report by the numbers. But the point is, again, as I've written a book about, weather warfare is a real thing. It has been admitted to since the 1950s. So when this storm happened in 98, weather warfare had been admitted to for nearly 50 years. And surely it had been going on even before it was admitted to in the 50s. Again, it's very sad that the American people know so little about history, because the expression most of us do know is those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. And what you'll realize in this world is that when you learn this code of letters and numbers, which is Gematria, which comes from Kabbalah, you've heard that term, the Cabal, the secret political faction. Again, Kabbalah states God created the world with letters, numbers, and words. The Cabal works by this code of letters, numbers, and words, which is Gematria. Again, it comes from Jewish mysticism. You turn on Comedy Central, they're making jokes about, Jews controlling the weather on a Jewish network. You really think it's a joke? Or you think it's mockery? Anyhow, look at this storm, April 15th and April 16th. They said that there were 63 confirmed tornadoes. Makes me wonder if there really were, because look, this was considered a tornado outbreak. Look at what tornado outbreak is in the most pure cipher. 63, just like tornadoes 33 in the most pure cipher. A tornado outbreak was 63 confirmed storms. They've been able to manufacture tornadoes for decades. They've been in control of the weather for decades. This is a military nation. This is a military operation. It's been admitted to for a long time, and people need to wake up. Again, just to revisit the most recent storm. Nashville, March 3rd. Tornado 33, Twister 33, Tennessee 137, the 33rd prime. You have to say, what are the odds that a woman would call up this morning and ask me to look into this, and it's the exact same thing? The odds are slim to none, unless it's all being done and executed by a systematic code, as it is, as we prove year after year. Again, you guys, I'm very frustrated because I've done a great job of predicting many things before they happened, including the date storms would make impacts, the date floods would happen, the date communities would be devastated, and I've been right on many times. I said exactly what day Houston was going to flood, why it was going to be August 27th, 17, the day it did flood. Showed how that was connected to the upcoming rigged World Series, which the Houston Astros won. And many more. And the reason all of those videos and predictions aren't up is because Google continues to take down my channel. It's been deleted 19 times. There's 10,000 videos. I'd say in those 10,000 videos, there was probably at least 500 successful predictions about something that would happen in the world. Just like how on the day of the Daytona 500, you can still watch that video, it's still up for the time being, but on the day of the Daytona 500, I told people, watch March 3rd, watch the state of Tennessee, because it was Super Tuesday. And why did I put out that warning? Again, because supposedly the Trump-Pence 2020 car that was supposed to race at the Daytona 500 event, supposedly it was being hauled down to Daytona, and it went off the road somewhere in Tennessee, the way the media phrased it, somewhere in Tennessee, communicating that it's an obvious bullshit story. Otherwise, they'd be able to tell you what happened and where it went. But like I said, this is just another riddle. And I said Donald Trump's at a race. It's a political race. They're telling you something about Tennessee. Super Tuesday's coming up on Tennessee March 3rd. I said all eyes on Tennessee March 3rd. What happens? You get a devastating tornado, a 33 on 3-3. And understand, this is the way the cabal operates. They have the whole populace distracted with their sports, with their entertainment. It's why it's a nation of people who don't know shit about shit, because they don't know anything about knowledge or history. All they care about is entertainment. And they don't realize that in these entertainment events, the cabal is dropping clues for their next planned event, their next planned ritual, their next planned act of terrorism and tyranny, which is what it is. Again, they reported this one on March 3rd, touchdown at 12:38. 38's the number of death. The next day they come out and they say 38 people are unaccounted for. There could be 150 people unaccounted for. They're just reporting the numbers that are symbolic. They don't report real numbers. They report ritualistic numbers, numbers that have symbolism to them. Also, again, it's all ritual. It's pieces of a puzzle that foretell the next thing. Again, this was on the big, voting day. It's a political race. This storm is symbolic of something else to come. Notice the overlap with voting and tornado. There's a storm coming, There will be more that's connected to this. And it takes time to think about things and figure out what they're communicating next. But realize, you have to know this code of letters and numbers, which is based on the alphabetic order, forwards and backwards, and also incorporating the rules of numerology. The clues are out there. You just have to put the pieces of the puzzle together. But when they give you something at the Daytona 500, like the Trump-Pence car going off the road in Tennessee, shortly before March 3rd, Super Tuesday in Tennessee, you just know, okay, they're telling you something about that day. Ends up being a tornado. And now, absolutely, like I just said, that tornado, it foreshadows some other greater storm, some other greater type of event coming. But realize, on the back of it, there's also another agenda, devastating a black community. Destroy the black properties, get them to move on. Somebody who has the money comes in, builds new properties there. The reality of this nation, because this same media that programs us, who's programmed the whole world to believe that black people are dangerous. They're rapists, they're violent, they're criminals, they're drug abusers, they're drug dealers, etc., etc. Because of that, black communities, their property values are lower. Cities don't want that. They want higher property values because then they collect more tax revenue. They want people to move in who have more money because they bring more money into the community. And it's not to say that black people aren't capable of this. It's to say that because of this system that's essentially worked to always destroy black people and their chance at being successful in this society, they're victims of the agenda. And because they're victims of the agenda, they're less desirables. And look at what the system's done. It's like, probably the best purpose for a young black male is sitting in this cage over here. We got that all, prophetized, and we can use them for slave labor for these corporations, pay them 10 cents an hour. This is what's going on in this nation. It's what's been going on. This is how it all works. It's a big, ugly machine. What's sad is the woman who called me this morning, I said, you think if I came to Nashville and explained what's going on and I read my chapter about weather warfare, I said, you think people would listen? She said, some people would probably listen, but most would think you're crazy. And that's what's sad. Even trying to help the people, they'll still think you're crazy because they're even so programmed. If you ever read Malcolm Gladwell's book, which one is it? I think it's Outliers. It's one of his earliest books, one of the first 3 books he wrote, but he even points out in that book how we're so programmed as a people that if we just see a picture of a black person, we'll immediately associate negative qualities, no matter what our race is, even if we are black. Anyway, the programming is deep is the point I'm trying to make. Everyone's been programmed to think anything related to conspiracy is crazy, nonsense, unbelievable. And that's all by design, because we are living out a very sophisticated conspiracy, even the weather. And case in point to how blind people are this day and age, all over. Trails through the sky, left by planes, that slowly spread out, turn into hazy clouds. A day you can wake up in the morning, can be all blue skies. By 1 in the afternoon, after your sky's a tic-tac-toe pattern, it's all hazed out. You can't even see the sky anymore. People think that's Mother Nature. It's how blind these people are. You point it out to them, they think you're crazy, even though it's happening right in front of their face. And realize everything that's going on in this nation is right in front of our face. You learn Gematria, you understand this is the code of the cabal, you can prove it every single day, then you really see what's being done. So, if you think I'm wrong, you should definitely pick up my book. You should read it. You can read the first 50 pages, really understand this knowledge. You can skip to the chapter on weather warfare by the numbers. You can see how long this has been going on for, how long it's been admitted to, and just watch each day going forward. Wow, there it is again. There it is again. All right, Truth Seeker, we'll leave it there. Till next time.